Welcome back to Red vs. Blue episode summaries. Today I'll be doing episode 22, Red vs. Bleu, but the blue is spelt in French. Griff expresses his immense doubt that Sarge's surrender bluff was going to work, to which Sarge responds demanding he put a cork in it, suggesting there was no way the Blues could see through his plan. Griff was right though, as Church instantly saw through the bluff, correctly declaring them out of ammo. He decided to play along though, questioning what their terms were, leaving both Griff and Tucker confused as to what terms meant. Simmons, on the other hand, was in disbelief, believing Sarge's bluff to actually be working. He then suggested that they ask for Lopez back, believing the Blues were simply holding him hostage, with Griff agreeing, remembering how Lopez could repair the Warthog. Donut then added another suggestion, excitedly mentioning asking them for their flag. Griff excitedly agreed with this as well, adding on asking for cake to the list as well. Donut agrees with this so wholeheartedly that he tries to rescind his suggestion, instead wanting exclusively cake. Sarge, taking in these suggestions, begins shouting his terms. He starts by mentioning the flag, but then Simmons reminds him that Tex showed up last time they had the flag, leading Sarge to clarify that he wants the flag to stay right where it is, but they want Lopez back, who he calls their mechanized droid guy, stating they also may know him as Senor El Roboto. This caused Church to panic, with Tucker questioning what he was going to do. Church responds to Tucker briefly in Spanish, bitterly declaring he would not give up his body, complaining how he just got it. Sarge then added that the Blues couldn't keep any of Lopez's nuts, quickly adding the bolts or other mechanical components as well, to avoid a nut joke. Church decides to respond with a lie, claiming that Lopez wasn't with them anymore, with Tucker adding that he said sayonara and took off leaving. Church bitterly whispers to Tucker that sayonara was French, not Spanish, calling him an idiot, not realizing his own stupidity as sayonara was Japanese. Church then continued responding to Sarge's request, asking if they would take a medic as a hostage as opposed to Lopez, referring to Doc. Doc, confused, reminded Church he was supposed to go there, so it makes no sense for him to be a hostage. As for how the Reds were taking the offer, Simmons thought it sounded good, but Griff believed they could bargain for more. Simmons denied this, calling Griff a dumbass as he reminded them they weren't really in a bargaining position due to not having bullets. This led Griff to agree with Simmons, suggesting Sarge take the deal. While the Reds were talking, Church questioned Doc on how Caboose was doing, with Doc clarifying he was well, alert, and responsive in general, leading Tucker to feel the need to clarify it was Caboose he was talking about, in disbelief. Church clarified that he wasn't talking about Caboose's mental health, but instead the toe he shot. Doc nonchalantly responded that the toe fell off half an hour ago, insinuating that should have been obvious, presumably due to how bad of a medic Doc was. Caboose, who was still crying from the loss of his toe, wished it to rest in peace, stating that it would be avenged in his scary voice. Doc, knowing he couldn't be of any more help to the Blues, then decided to let them send him over. Having Doc's permission, Church officially stated to the Reds that they would send over the medic, questioning what they would get in return. Simmons clarified that the deal was that the Blues were surrendering, so all they would get was humiliation and ridicule. Tucker, only quarterly joking, stated that they already had both of those, asking what else they had. Sarge simply responded by asking what they wanted, with Church suggesting for them to admit the Red team sucks. This gave Sarge an idea that he whispered to Simmons for his approval before declaring, which was to admit that one of their members sucked. While it should have been obvious who they were referring to, Griff got excited at the idea, thinking they meant Donut. He questioned just to make sure, much to his immense disappointment. 2 hours eventually passed before Griff agreed to do it, but he eventually did, likely due to pressure from his team. Church clarified that they would send over Doc, as Sarge ordered Griff to start talking. Griff sighed deeply as he began his self-deprecating speech, constructed by the other Red team members, especially Sarge and Donut, stating he would like to let everyone know that he sucks, he's a girl, likes ribbons in his hair, and he likes to kiss boys. Sarge was probably more happy with the speech than the Blues, claiming it may have been the best surrender of all time. Simmons clarified that was a good enough speech, with Church confirming, as he instructed Doc to head over, with Doc obliging, running over to the Red side, stopping right in front of Griff, who simply stated how he hoped Doc was worth it, still recovering from having to give the speech. Doc, skipping greetings entirely, went straight to questioning Griff on if Command put something in Blood Gulch's water. Griff simply responded that they ran out of water 6 months ago, leading Doc to further question what they drank, knowing they would be dead otherwise. Griff revealed that they had been drinking ketchup, soy sauce, and gravy, with Sarge clarifying that he only drinks the blood of his enemies, quietly adding girly drinks like a strawberry yoo-hoo to the list as well.